Hey, you crazy cats! 42's live streams and videos are simply not available on vinyl. You will have to go to the YouTubes for that. So if you want content about British traditions and culture, cutting edge social commentary from an unapologetically patriotic perspective, along with a side order of madness you simply will not find anywhere else, then this is the place for you. And to all those early adapters in the chat, don't forget to hit the notification bell. That's how you get the good stuff, and make sure you never miss a tasty treat. So with that being said and done, squeeze yourself in. Let's get into it. You know you want to. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Please delete as applicable because the internet is worldwide. Time zones are still a thing, and god damn it, I managed to get from the intro to us both on the screen in a timely fashion, even though StreamYard is still the bipolar bitch. Yeah, can I get a wee audio check in the chat, please? And I will start going through the hellos in a minute. But first, Mr. Pakka, what about you, chum?
All good. What about you?
Doing okay. Doing good. Doing good. I'm actually quite looking forward to this. We started it off, I feel, last week with the marching bands and whatnot. We played a bit of Lillibullero, which obviously you had never encountered before. And I thought it was worth digging into. And I also, after hearing the song, did you did your homework? Yes, you've heard the song.
I listened to the song, yes, twice. Yeah. The second time it made less sense than the first.
Yes, exactly.
I was getting at some kind of sarcasm, but I wasn't understanding the joke.
Yeah. All shall become apparent, but yes, the problem is it's like trying to understand not the 9 o'clock news from 300 years ago. So, does that make sense? You know, if you had an episode of not the 9 o'clock news, but it was 300 years out of date, you'd have no clue what the fuck they were on about. And that's basically what's happening with this song. So I'm looking forward to breaking it down and digging into the nitty gritty and hopefully explaining it to the best of my ability, which is not going to be perfect.
Budgie says audio good, so we can carry on now.
Excellent. And I will say hello to the chat. Budgie Burger, first in. We are well covered for the comedic content in the chat. Captain Pakka, yourself. Mr. Dave of Waffle House is in. Welcome aboard, chum. John Fused. Anglo, evening, brother. Welcome aboard. Thank you so much for coming along. Philip Swan, what about you, chum? Welcome. There's Budgie Burger. Super Dave's in. What about you, chum? All the way from America. Hopefully you enjoy this and learn something about
2 Daves in. You get another one. You've got to play the Dave song.
Yes. See, Phil Swan has arrived. He's a scrub. Yeah, I do recognize that icon. Welcome on board. Love to have the scrubs in here. To be fair, this channel the channel would be here, but the way it's being done would not be the way it is without Chris Dangerfield. The first live stream I did was on his channel about Belfast growing up there in the 1970s, and that's whenever I found out I liked doing it. And so
Philip may well have got the heads up on this evening stream from an earlier stream. So
yes, exactly. Mr. Pakka is the professional co-host, is living up to his name. He's been on 2 streams this evening.
Yeah, I'm catching up with Sensum now for the streaming, I think.
Yes, you are. You're turning in the new Sensum. Sensum is very, very busy with work at the minute. And yeah, Pakka has taking over that
Although I
mantle.
will not be covering golf or curry. I know when to stay in my lane.
Yes, that's some special subjects. Yeah, we'll have to leave those clear for him. Now, with no further ado, I'm going to do a couple of shout outs. The first one is Rich RPW Media, who does a live stream every Friday night at 11 o'clock British summertime. You will often find me in the chat on that, although sometimes I'm listening and being drunk and not really typing because I no longer drink Monday to Thursday. So I only drink Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So yeah, staying sober past 11 o'clock on a Friday night's not really an option. Yep, Korean golf. But Rich does a really good political show. If you want to find out anything about how politics are going in America, go over, check out his channel and also his website, where you will get a back catalogue of pretty much everything that's happened politically in America in the last 10 years or thereabouts. Really good resource. And the interesting thing about that back catalogue is it's not being edited and updated over time the way the newspapers are, because most of the most of the newspapers are being edited and changed after their initial production, just like happens in about 1982 or 1984. Strange that. Now, the second shout out is Robin, Courage is the Cure, an Australian girl who will keep you up to date with everything that's going on with government tyranny and overreach. Really good channel. She's on lots and lots of platforms, YouTube, Facebook. I don't know what else, but give her a shout. There's Edmund has jumped in. What about you, Sean? Welcome aboard. Yep. Philip Swan's on the curry. Good. Get that down. And the third show that I always give a shout out to is the one, the only, the Dave Waffle House, home of the world famous Friday Night Duck Race, the best duck race on the internet. And quite apart from the duck race, it's just a nice chilled place to come in, hang out, check in with everybody and have a laugh. He streams live from 8 o'clock every weeknight, starting off with Monday Club Records for a half hour, and then you get the drivel and waffle. I'm not going to attempt to explain what that show is. And Dave, I know you're listening. Here's the thing. See the fact that I can't explain what your show is about or like? Think of the problem that gives fucking YouTube with trying to decide who to fucking promote it to. Right, you've got this algorithm. Let's see, what am I looking for? Somebody that's into ducks, stock taking, beaver, and potholes.
You know when you used to go in a record shop or a video shop and there was a bargain bin?
Yes.
Right, well, imagine if there was a lunatic bin. That is where you would find Dave's Waffle House.
Exactly, because it doesn't fit with any of the genres.
No.
Oh yes, and Anglo is Duckhead of the Week. He won the he won the duck race this Friday. By the way, there are many, many ways to get ducks. You can win them by participating in the show. You can earn them by leaving a comment underneath any stream, and you can indeed buy ducks or be gifted ducks. Like there's a real moratorium, there's a real kaleidoscope of ways to get a duck, which will get you in the duck race. And talking about people from the duck race, there's Take Two drum covers in. What about you, Sean? Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming along. Spanish Chickens in. Welcome aboard. Thank you. We're like a garbage sale from Dead Cunts. Yeah, there is that. It could be a bit like that. Oh, it's a fucking amazing crowd. I really do like the Wafflers. They are really good crack. Now, there's something else I want to give a shout out to. Yes, there's an event coming up in London, England, and you may or may not be interested in this. Add that to the stage. Here we go. It's hosted by the London Psalm Association. It's Lord Carson Memorial Parade on Saturday, the 19th of September, 2026 at 2:30 at Temple Palace behind Temple Tube Station. This is a yearly parade that used to be 2 bands and 1 Psalm Association. They had a little bit of bother last year with the leftists trying to protest them, and it's a Psalm Association, so everybody's seen what was happening, and there are currently 19 bands from Ulster, Scotland, and England going to it. If you like the band parades that I show and whatnot, you can go listen to it live. And the other thing I would advise is if you do go to it, try to get to about the start of the parade, then walk along for a bit with the first band till you've heard a complete tune, so as you get the proper feel of it. Then just stand still, catch the next band, walk along and listen to them, rinse and repeat. I guarantee you will have an enjoyable afternoon. Also, take note of how they present themselves, the colour parties, the positioning of the different flags and whatnot. You'll notice that the Union banner is always at the back left if you're looking at it, because that's the correct place for your national standard. Yeah, have a look at that. Sorry, I'm just checking through the chat to see if any, because there's quite a few. Brad James has arrived in. What about you, chum? Welcome aboard.
He's unsubbed. What's that about? What have I done?
What?
Just what he said. Unsubbed.
What? Brad, I think you're taking the piss. Yeah, so there you go. Saturday, 19th of September, you have a couple of weeks to get yourself ready for it. If you fancy fucking trying to go into London, you will actually see some patriotic music. Sorry, that was a very bad slip of the tongue. That was not one meant to come out. Some patriotic music.
Freudian.
Yeah, Freudian, yeah. Patriotic Alternative does not have anything to do with that parade, by the way. Not that I'm saying anything bad about Patriotic Alternative, just want to clarify that.
In the Venn diagram,
yeah,
those two circles will cross.
Yeah, they will cross in a Venn diagram somewhere. Yeah, but I don't. Oh, right, I'm gonna fucking stop digging and throw the shovel away.
Yeah, about this song anyway, because you're 13 minutes in. You're
15 minutes in. Right. Rambling. We are going to decode Lillibullero, which is it's
an earworm, I'll tell you that.
It's also satire. It's a satirical song that was made famous in about 1688, whenever William of Orange was coming to England. Now, I'm going to start off by playing a little bit of the song with the period correct instruments, so that you get an idea of what it sounds like. Oh, before I do that, I need to do this.
Lutes and mandolins, is that what you mean?
Yeah, lute and mandolins. It's actually drums and it's actually fifes and drums. Yeah, that needs done. By the way, the difference between a fife and a flute is that a flute has keys and a fife does not. So a fife's just a wooden tube with holes bored in it. You close with your fingers, and then it creates different keys, different notes. Whereas a flute also has keys, so you can increase the different number of things. Anyway, This is Lillibullero, period correct. You'll find if you want to find this whole thing, it's on the March videos. So here we go. We'll play a little bit of this. Now, if Colin was in, he would recognize that tune as the Protestant Boys, because that is the Ulster Scottish loyalist. Spanish Chicken, I did, but it didn't actually explain the English version of the song, and that's where the difference is. Yeah,
this is a deep dive, Spanish. Come on.
Yep, this is going to be a deep dive, and we'll start off by giving you the run through of the English version of the song. This was prevalent in 1688 to the point where the guards and the soldiers in King James's that started already. I did not tell you to start. Thank you. Just stay paused. Thank you. This was so prevalent that the soldiers in King James's army were singing this song, which was basically against him in his palaces and in the places where he was being guarded. And whenever William eventually arrived, the army that James sent to oppose them turned up playing this song and instantly defected. So there's where the which actually gave James the idea that it was probably time to fuck off to France. But what we will do is we will have a run through with the English lyrics, and then we'll start the decoding. And actually, I need to do something different there. That's right. Good. Now, see how much substantials can I make this, because I would guess it's probably very little. But here we go. Here's a song in its original, the lyrics in its original format.
Oh, brother T, dost hear the decree? Lillibullero, bullinala. We are to have a new deputy. Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullinala. Over my soul, it is a towboat, Lillibullero, bullinala, and he will cut every Englishman's throat, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullinala. Though by my soul the English do pray to Lillibullero, bullinala. The law's on their side and the devil knows what, to Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullinala. But if dispense do come from the Pope, Lillibullero, bullinala, will hang Magna Carta and themselves on a rope, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullinala. And the good Talbot is now made a lord, Lillibullero, bullanala. And with his brave lads he's coming aboard, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala. Who all in France have taken a swear, Lillibullero, bullanala, that they will have no Protestant there, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala. Know that Tyrconnell is come ashore, Lillibullero, bullanala, and we shall have commissions galore, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala. And everybody that won't go to mass, Lillibullero, bullanala, he will be turned out to look like an ass, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala. Now the heretics all will go down, Lillibullero, bullanala. By Christ and Sir Patrick's the nation's our own, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala. There was an old prophecy found in a bog, Lillibullero, bullanala. The country be ruled by an ass and a dog, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala. Now this prophecy's all come to pass, Lillibullero, bullanala. But Talbot's the dog and Tyrconnell's the ass, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala.
All right. There's the full English version, which I believe has made very little sense to anyone. Yep.
I get the references to Protestants and Catholics and the Pope and the Magna Carta, but I'm not entirely sure what message he's trying to convey.
Right. Okay. Let's start this with the it's an ass and a dog, Linda, but we will get there. That's way on down.
An asinine dog. Brilliant, Linda. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, an asinine dog. Yeah. And there's also a bunch of words in here that are not in general parlance in England. So we're going to start with the we're going to start by getting the whole Lillibullero bit out of the way, which I'm guessing makes no sense to anybody. But it turns out that's not English. That's actually in Irish. Actually, right, to get this, to put this into context. So England in 1688, you've had your civil war in 1642 to 1649. You had Oliver Cromwell as the Lord Protector. You changed quite a few things. Then you've got a couple of kings, and then King James II takes the throne. He is a devout Roman Catholic, and what he wants to do is turn England, which is a very vastly majority Protestant country, into a Catholic country. He's also done a couple of things like dissolve Parliament because he didn't like what Parliament had to say. He's heavily invested in rule by divine right, which means that God, as taught by the Roman Catholic Church, God has decided he's the person that has to be king, therefore every decision he makes is right, and the hell with the consequences, and he doesn't need to think about anything, provided it's his decision, it's the right thing to do.
And he's the son of Charles II, Baz said.
Yes,
yeah?
Yes, that's correct. And Baz will be well up in this because William is indeed Dutch. William was I think the term is protector, or no, it's not. but he was basically the Dutch king. James's cousin is Louis XIV. In 1680,
not Brad James.
Yeah, not Brad James. So in 1685, Louis XIV has taken away Protestant rights. The Huguenots have fled to Holland and Britain because they were being persecuted. And James has a daughter. This is the important thing. James's two daughters are both Protestant, and then he is remarried, and he has a son by a Catholic wife, and this now sets up a long-lasting Catholic dynasty because the son will become the next king, and you're looking at Catholic rule for eternity. And this causes that. This is what pushes the whole thing, because Oliver was the Lord Protector, wasn't the king. So what that means is after we won the Civil War, we had never properly sorted out the line of succession. And what the English people were finding was they were totally beholden on who was born to what person and what type of king they were going to get. They had also installed a parliament and started off the notion of rule by consent, whereby the people elect the parliament and the king does what the parliament tells him. However, this king, King James II, had a habit of, whenever he didn't like what parliament was doing, like forbidding them from raising taxes, he just collapsed the parliament and did it anyway. So he was ruling like a tyrant. And at this point, the English people decided that they needed something different, and they also needed to sort out this line of succession. So that's the sort of atmosphere that this was occurring in. Is there anything I need to clarify on that?
No, I'm following so far.
Right. Okay. So that's the atmosphere that this song originated in. Now, good book that song is Lillibullero. Right. Now, we're going to explain that bit. I've got this pulled up. Sure that. So, they will tell you that Lillibullero is not Irish, but it is. And Lillibullero is not a standard Irish word with direct translation. Historics musicologists generally view it as 17th century nonsense jingle or satirical English corruption of Irish single sounds. Now,
right, so it's not what they said, it's what we said they said.
Yeah, no.
They might be lying.
Well, see, the Irish for it is this bit here. An Lillibullero e Ballan Lan in La. So what they have done, and what that translates as, the lily was evident, the day is ours. So what they have done is they have taken the Irish and spelt it as an English person would. So it's not directly Irish, but it is, the writing's not Irish, but the sound is. And what they have done is they have infused, the person that wrote this has infused that into right throughout the song to use it as the chorus. So that's just a vehicle for moving the song along. And it translates roughly to "'Twas Lily that caused the victory that day. 'Twas Lily that caused it. 'Twas Lily that caused it. 'Twas Lily that caused the victory that day." And this is the rattling on of the Irish people, confounded on their luck because the lily had defeated them. And the lily is the orange lily, which is connected to William III, who is of the House of Orange. and it's the same orange lilies that you see attached to the Orange Order banners on the 12th of July today. So you can take the whole lily bit out of your song whenever you try to understand it, because it's just a chorus and it doesn't mean anything. And whenever you do that, you actually end up with a song. Now, no, 1 second. Right. I was trying to. I'm not as organized as I should have been because I thought I had the lyrics all sorted out, but I don't. Give me one momento, and I'm going to get the lyrics up somewhere. Fuck.
Spanish Chicken points out we're good at stealing things, including words. We're good at stealing everything. But, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, but the stuff in the British Museum is still in one piece and hasn't been blown up by the Taliban. So swings and roundabouts.
Everything that we've kept, we've looked after.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
you're welcome.
Right. File. New. Right. Sorry.
I'm laughing at Budgie. I don't know what he did, but it was a typing error. The luck of the Amish.
Yeah, the luck of the Amish. Yes. Actually, that'll do. Right. Now, I've got everything apart from the first 2 lines. I think. Right. Let's share this to the screen. Stop that one. Presenter invite. Share screen. Window. Share. Add that to the stage. And now, where's lyrics? I'm missing the first 2 lines, I think. Lillibullero lyrics. Yeah. Right. Command and C. Good. We're getting there. Sorry about this, people. You're watching a little bit of live editing. Right. We'll make this up to 14. And we'll see where we are on the screen. This can fucking get out of my road. Everything all disappeared there. That was bad. Right. Okay. So from the top, I need this one so that I can see it and actually read it. So whenever you take away all of the Lillibullero bits, you're left with the story. And the story goes like this. O brother Teig, dost hear the decree that we shall have a new deputy? O by my soul, it is a Talbot, and he will cut every Englishman's throat. Though by my soul, the English do prate, the laws on their side, and the devil knows what. So we'll start to go through this like verse by verse. Pakka, any idea what a Teig is?
No, I know what a Talbot is, but a Teig, no idea.
Right. A Teig's one that I do not need to look up because it's still in general parlance in Ulster. In fact, I seen a bit of graffiti that was posted to Facebook that said KAT, which means kill all Teigs. So a Teig is a Irish Roman Catholic.
Oh.
So in this first line, what we're getting is, "Oh, brother, take." So this is a mimic of what the Catholics that are against the English are saying. So this is a story to themselves. So it goes, "Oh, brother, take, dost hear a decree that we shall have a new deputy? Oh, by my soul, it is a Talbot." So what we're going to do is drop this out from the screen. We're going to share a clean screen. Stop that. And present and invite. Share screen. New tab with a fresh Google thing on it. We'll add that to the stage. And what we will do is we will go in here and go TALBOT, the GLORA, the glorious, LOUTION, Talbot Glorious Revolution. See, that has come up on the screen. So what that's given is the name Talbot in the context of the Glorious Revolution of 1688 most prominently refers to Richard Talbot, the first Earl of Tyrconnell, a powerful Irish Catholic general and close advisor to King James II, or George Talbot, the 12th Earl of Shrewsbury, one of the immortal 7 English peers who invited William of Orange to depose James II. So what they're telling us in this first verse is that this guy, Talbot, and it's going to be the one that's on the side of King James, because we know from the first line that this is the opposition, a mimic of the opposition talking to each other. So they're talking about him. So, where's my fucking lyrics bit gone? So
there's 2 Talbots.
Yeah, there's 2 Talbots, and that will come up in the song again later. So they're rejoicing that this guy Talbot has been made up, got a higher precision, and they reckon that he will cut every Englishman's throat. Now, you might ask why they might think that why there would be a fear of Catholics gaining power and suddenly becoming tyrannical and murdering English Protestants. And the roots of that is going to take you to 1641, just before the English Civil War. Bear in mind, this is 1688. So the Civil War finishes in 1689, say, or 1649, 1650, 60, 70, 80. This is 40 years ago. This is a shorter distance in time. This is about the same distance in time that we have from the Argentinians invading.
This is the 1980s, everybody.
Yeah. And what had happened then was the Catholics had got control of the army, and they rounded up Protestants in Ulster, marched them in the rivers, and shot them dead. And then they surrounded estates and starved people, and then forced them out with absolutely nothing, including the clothes on their back, to die in the wilderness. And this went on for 10 years. So they have got a genuine fear that if the Catholic get control of the army, this may be visited upon them. The other thing is, the Duke of Monmouth has recently had a rebellion, and everybody involved in that rebellion has either been executed or sent to, I think it was India, for lifetime penal colony. So they have seen that James is more than capable of being tyrannical. So that's where the fear of this coming to pass and being visited upon them comes from. And that brings us to, so what we've got so far in this song is, "O brother, take, dost hear the decree that we shall have in you. Oh, by my soul, it is a tall boat." And where the interesting thing about a tall boat is because we know that there's two of them knocking about. Now,
this is setting us up for a turn later, is it?
Yes. Though by my soul, the English do parrot. Now, the next thing we're going to do is look up this word parrot because I ain't ever heard it before until I came across this song. We will look that up and we'll see what it says in the dictionary. Parrot is a verb or a noun that means to talk for a long time about unimportant, foolish, or silly things. It's similar to cackling or babbling without much real meaning or action. Sound familiar, Pakka?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got, sorry, I'm checking up with the chat. Yeah, so this is what they're saying, and this is what the enemies are saying. We don't need to worry about the English because they're not actually organizing anything. They're not becoming a problem. So then we will take that back out and we'll go back to the lyrics. Fuck. Helps you put it on the screen, 40. Would be helpful. So we'll stop that screen. We'll present that. We'll share the screen. Share the screen. It's a window, and it's this one. Now, though by my soul the English do proud, the law's on their side, and the devil knows what. But if dispense do come from a pope, we'll hang Magna Carta on themselves by a rope. Now, what do you think dispense means in this parlance?
To unalive?
No, right.
To fork out.
Yeah, to fork out. So we will go back to the search engine. Present or invite. Stop that screen. Present that. Share screen. Share screen.
Not
share
sharing.
that. Right. Are we back on? Have we got this back up again? All right. Yep. Here we go. And dispense. Oh no. Helps if you fucking actually copy and paste the word gap 42. That says no. Dispense. See, I didn't hit that. Right. Command and V. Dispense. Dispense means to give out, deliver, or distribute something to people. It often refers to handing out of measured portions such as medicine, such as machine releasing cash. Now, in this case, it means if the laws are dispensed by the Pope. So what they're looking for is the Pope. What they're saying in this sense is the English currently have laws that are in the best interest of the English people, and we would like to change that by bringing in a king that will give laws that will suit us and not the English people. Does that ring a bell?
Well, it sounds a little bit unkind.
Yeah. Does it sound anything like what's happening today?
Yes. I couldn't possibly mention which religion of peace.
Right, okay, right. And you know that this all got a lot worse since we had a Tony Blair.
Yes.
What was Tony Blair's first action after leaving his office as Prime Minister?
Well, he buggered off to the Middle East to become some envoy, didn't he?
No, his first port of call was the chapel, and him and Cherie Blair both became Roman Catholics.
Oh, did they now?
Yes, and being a Roman Catholic,
was it?
Yeah, being Roman Catholic precluded him from the job of being prime minister, because after what will happen with this, we decided we would not have Roman Catholic prime ministers who are above certain levels in law, because they're apt to bring in laws that are fucking not in our favour.
Right, so he pretended not to be Roman Catholic and fucked us over and then fucked off.
Yes, that's exactly it. Now, my next question would be, what connection do you think there is between the Pope and the Magna Carta?
I don't know.
Right.
I didn't think we fell out with the Pope until Henry.
Right. Okay. So we'll look up the Pope, and by the way, I do know the answer to this, but the way I want to do this is so other people can understand how to decode songs like this and regain their culture. So we've done the Pope and Magna Carta, and what we get, British Library saying the annulment of the Magna Carta. Pope Innocent III issued a bull in which he described Magna Carta as shameful, demeaning, illegal, and unjust. Rather than chase around the internet for the actual thing, what he also said is he issued a papal bull, and the papal bull said any Roman Catholic king that takes over England can ignore the Magna Carta because it's not a legal document.
Because you're supposed to listen to me.
Yeah.
That's what he actually meant.
Yes. And he did this approximately 31 days after the Magna Carta was signed.
He was paying attention.
Right.
I'll give him that.
Yeah, right. Which brings into question when England's relationship with the Pope actually began to deteriorate.
Okay. Yeah, I stand correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, look, it's very common knowledge that the reason why the Church of England was formed and we split with the Church of Rome was all about Henry VIII and not being allowed to get a divorce. However, they have stripped away all the other problems that England had with the Vatican and its interference with our laws for a very long time. And even since with the sending of the Spanish Armada and stuff like that. So what this song is bringing up is that we've had long-standing issues that they've said that if we can get a Catholic king, he listened to the Pope, and we can rip up their rule book that is in heavy favour of the English people. Yeah, John Wycliffe was writing the Bible, and the Pope wanted him murdered for translating the Bible into English, because in those days you didn't read the Bible, you went to your local chapel and your local priest would tell you what the Bible said. Sort of gives them a hold on everything that you know. So at that we will revert back to the lyrics and wider.
We're 48 minutes in.
Yeah.
Was you thinking of a musical interlude at all?
Yes. And in fact, I will do that now.
Because I got to go.
Right. Yes. And I think, what are we going to have? We're going to have something sort of. Yep, here we go. We've got a nice little song about the Falklands War.
Get in.
I only found this today. I think you'll probably find that this is not the best version of the video for it, but I'm going to go with the first one that came up. And the interesting thing is, after listening to it once, the next fucking 4 songs that YouTube gave me was the exact same song with different videos by different people. So there you go. We'll add this to the stage.
Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. Britons never, never, never shall be slaves. Off the coast of Argentina, our island's midst the deep, with 1,800 people and 500,000 sheep. The day they were invaded, everybody learned the name. A barren little colony, it got a bit of fame. We stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the navy and we called up the marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the Falkland Islands, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. Maggie Thatcher was awakened in the middle of the night. She heard the Argentinians was falling for a fight. She summoned up her cabinet and met with the MPs and sent the pride of Britain to those stormy southern seas. We stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the navy and we called up the marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the Falkland Islands, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. Well, in came the Yanks, who had to have a say, so they sent Al Haig down Buenos Aires way. He shuffled to and fro, always managing to smile. The Argies still refused to leave that barren British Isle. So we stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the navy and we called up the marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the Falkland Islands, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. Well, the whole world watched as the British fleet drew near, and the battle for the Falklands was finally here. We sank their ships, brought down their aeroplanes, and taught those cheeky argers not to mess with us again. We stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the navy and we called up the marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the Falkland Islands, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. All the local girls were waiting when Prince Andy disembarked. He had a reputation that he liked to have a lark. They covered him with kisses, they walked him in the grass. He said he never saw a better piece of British land. So we stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the navy and we called up the marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the Falkland Islands, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. We stocked our ships full of British beer and bullets. We mobilised the navy and we called up the marines. We sailed 2 weeks till we reached the South Atlantic, so we could teach a lesson to those bloody Argentines. Go on, clear out of it. Go on back to the Pampers. Go on, clear out. Go, you can't play bloody football either.
I don't know what the fuck I've done with my screen, but it has all fucking changed and it's weird as fuck. Right. What have I done? Oh, this is mad and I don't like it. Right. Oh, yeah. Do you know what has totally disappeared? My ability to mute my mic. That has gone. Yeah. Ooh, fuck knows what's going on. Right. Oh.
Well, at least you won't do it inadvertently now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, this is weird as fuck. Oh, right. I think we can deal with that. Right. I actually like that song. I think it's quite fitting for tonight because also it has the level of humor that's the level of humor that's in Lillibullero is still present in the stuff that we're doing today. Now, we will go back to the lyrics. Presenter invite. Share screen. Share screen. It's a window. It's this one. Where are we? Pages.
Through my soul, do English pray.
Yep. Yep. So, though by my soul the English do pray, the laws in their sight and the devil know what. If dispense do come from the Pope, we'll hang Magna Carta themselves in a rope. So they're saying the English are fucking about, not really doing anything. And if we can just get a king in, that will the Pope will disregard Magna Carta, take away all our rights, and we'll go ahead. And now the next line is, and the good Talbot is now made a lord, and with his brave lads he's coming aboard. So this is where we found out that there was 2 Talbots knocking about. In their eyes, the one that has been made a lord and given more power. Yeah, Pages is good, mate. That's what I use for all my stuff. The best thing about Pages is you can drag any picture off the internet and just pull it straight into your document with one click. If you want to put an overlay on, it's really easy. It's all very intuitive, mate. Pages is good. If you've got a Mac, work away with that, and it's about fucking £6 to buy for the app. That's what I use for all my stuff, mate. Everything I do is all, and by the way, my videos are all done on iMovie and GarageBand. So it's all the stuff that comes with the Mac. Now, where was it? So in their eyes, the good Talbot has been made a lord. He's got more power, and he's moved from Ireland over to England with his army. That he it's not Bolsheviks. What the fuck? The Jacobites, they reckon, is going to put a lot in place to help their cause. Where am I? Right. Now, who all in France have taken a swear that they will have no Protestant there. This is a reference to the fact that Louis XIV has sworn France to oppose any Protestant country in Europe, and the French will come and help them beat the English. And King James's cousin is Louis XIV, and they're saying he will have, they're going to have a lot of power. So now, I know that Tycon has come ashore, and we shall have commissions galore. So let's have a look at who Tarncarl is. And presenter invite, stop at screen, present, share screen. Where is my one? Yep, that's my search engine one. StreamYard, present or invite. Fuck, what am I doing? Yep, add that to the screen, and we will go into here, and we will put in Tyrconnell, the Glorious Revolution, and Richard Talbot, first Earl and Jacobite Duke of Tyrconnell, 1631-1691, served as Catholic Lord Deputy of Ireland under James II. During the Glorious Revolution of 1688, he secured Ireland as a base for James II, leading the military resistance against William III in the bloody Williamite Wars in Ireland. So they're saying we've got more help coming. And all we need to do is hold on, keep James in power. These reinforcements will come, and we can fuck up England for the English. It's basically where they're at now. Yes, we're coming close to that. Now, we'll take that out, and we'll go back to the lyrics. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. It's a window. Share that. So, and what they reckon is whenever Turncull arrives, they're going to have commissions galore. Now, at this point, it is not allowed in the English army to have Catholics above a certain rank because the officers have got a habit of doing whatever the fuck they want with their own men. So he reckons that Turncull is going to come over and he will dish out commissions and places of authority in the army to Roman Catholics to help overthrow the country. Now, and everybody that won't go to mass, he will be turned out to look like an ass. At this stage in England, there are laws about attending the Church of England. Now, these laws only affect approximately 5% of the population. Because if you're above a certain level of authority, you must attend the Church of England 3 times a year. That's what the law is. If you're not a member of Parliament, involved with the Lords, a Lord, a large landowner, high ranking in the army, or involved with whatever the fledgling civil service is, you can just ignore this law because it doesn't have any bearing on your life whatsoever. But the reason for having that law was at least 3 times a year, your local representative is going to be in that fucking church. So if you want to go and speak to him, he's in that church on that date. You got to be there at Christmas. You've got to be there at Easter. And I can't remember what the other feast day was, but it was like 3 feast days spread out throughout the year that you could go and find your local member of Parliament or your local lord or whatever, and you'd be meeting them in a church setting. So it's highly possible that you could wait for him outside the church and politely ask a question. And that's why the law was there in place. But what they reckon is with this whole upheaval and the change of system, it'll become that you must go to Catholic Mass. And they also reckon that there'll be strict heresy laws in place for those that don't follow it. And for a point of reference, Bloody Mary, the Roman Catholic Queen, she burnt a Protestant at the stake every week during her reign. And we really didn't want to go back to that.
She seems nice.
Yeah, really. Yeah, we'll put this back up on the stage. So that is what this bit is referring to. And now all the heretics all will go down. By Christ and St. Patrick, the nations are own. So they're saying whenever they have this in place, they will run the country. And this is, again, this is what our opponents were saying. This is a mimicking of them. We're saying we come to the asinine dog. There was no prophecy found in a bog. The country be ruled by an ass and a dog. The prophecy found in the bog is a reference to pretty much every bit of Irish history. It's something that was fucking found in a bog, dreamt up, bastardized, or invented. And they go, yeah, we found that in the bog. It was preserved for years, and now we've found it, and it's definitely real. The Irish parchment for changing history is not new. William and Mary did indeed try for a son. However, whenever Mary was pregnant, William had to go off to war, and she wanted to be with him as long as possible and insisted on traveling in a carriage while pregnant to the boat. And on the way back from that boat, something happened and that child died in the womb and she could not have any other children. I wish to God she hadn't have went, where fucking 4 people had to carry her in a fucking chair, because our line of succession all pivoted and changed on the death of that stillborn child. Now, yep. So, and then the last line, the kicker, which is always at the end. And now this prophecy has come to pass, for Talbot's a dog and Tarnkill's the ass. So what they're saying is, you're saying all this here, but the people that you've got running the fucking show are nothing more than an ass and a dog. And you maybe want to wind your neck in because you're going to lose. So, now, question 2, Mr. Pakka and the chat. Do we reckon we will possibly understand it a bit more this time?
Yes. Now I'm understanding the sarcasm.
Right. So what we're going to do is we will go back and have another listen through of the song. At the stage. Oh, by the way, this channel here probably should put a link on it. If you want to find any form of traditional song, this guy's all over it. He doesn't just do English or Lewis, he just does traditional songs. And I believe
don't care. I had a look.
Yeah. He really don't care. What he's interested in is preserving the songs and the music. So if you want to find stuff like this, they never found Irish Dancing Volume 2. Yeah. Right. We're going to play this, and then I'm going to get my mic muted for a good fucking cough. Sorry, 1 second. Here we go. Now you can all have a listen with a bit more context and see does it make any more sense. The Lillibullero bit, that's Irish gibberish to move the song along and make room for the actual lyrics.
Oh, brother Teague, dost hear the decree? Lillibullero, bullinala. We are to have a new deputy. Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullinala. Over my soul, it is a towboat, Lillibullero, bullinala, and he will cut every Englishman's throat, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullinala. Though by my soul the English do pray to Lillibullero, bullinala. The law's on their side and the devil knows what to Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullinala. But if dispense do come from the Pope, Lillibullero, bullinala, we'll hang Magna Carta and themselves on a rope, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullinala. And the good Talbot is now made a lord, Lillibullero, bullinala. And with his brave lads he's coming aboard, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullinala. Who all in France have taken a swear, Lillibullero, bullinala, that they will have no Protestant heir, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullinala. know that Connell is come ashore, Lillibullero, bullanala, and we shall have commissions galore, Lillibullero, bullanala, lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala, lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala. And everybody that won't go to mass, Lillibullero, bullanala, he will be turned out to look like an ass, Lillibullero, bullanala, lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala, lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala. Now the heretics all will go down, Lillibullero, bullanala. By Christ and Sir Patrick's the nation's our own, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala. There was an old prophecy found in a bog, Lillibullero, bullanala. The country be ruled by an ass and a dog, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala. Now this prophecy's all come to pass, Lillibullero, bullanala. But Talbot's the dog and Connell's the ass, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Lero, 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 Lillibullero, bullanala.
Chicken or lamb?
Lamb.
Chicken.
Win a lot.
Always lamb. Especially in a curry. Oh, there I did it. Sorry, Sensen.
Right. There we go. There's a run through with everything in context. People, stick in the chat if there's anything that you would like sort of clarified or picked up.
Is that basically then we're looking at the roots of the football chant? You're talking shite, you're full of shit, we don't believe you, and we're going to sing a song to you about it.
Exactly. It's the most fucking English thing ever.
I think we have a long tradition of that, which does still continue.
Yeah, and not only that, you just put fucking mock Irish into it.
Yeah. You're talking what you say, everything you say is shut.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is,
it's little wonder we got in so many fights around the world, isn't it? If that's our approach.
Yeah. Well, Boss, that thing about William III being gay, it's total and utter bullshit. I've got a very good idea about why that. Look, the same people will tell you Patrick is a saint and he was never canonized by the Vatican. See, whenever you base your whole fucking set of things on stuff that are not true, you get surprised at why you can't just inject other things that are plainly not true. You know, it's an invention, it's a slur. And it's the same reason why politicians will make up really outlandish lies about other politicians sometimes. They don't give a fuck that it's not true. They just want to see the other person try to defend it. Which is why, like, David Icke, Patrick was either English or Welsh. It's really hard to tell. But he was kidnapped by Irish and brought to Ireland and lived there as a slave, went back to England, and then he escaped. Then he came back as a missionary, but he was never canonized by the Church of Rome. Therefore, he's not a saint. It's more bullshit. But yeah, Mr. Pakka, your synopsis is right. Yeah, here's all your stuff that you're saying, but it's bullshit and you're going to lose.
Yeah, but to a lovely tune.
Well, it was a tune that was used by marching bands to move armies from one place to another. And the person that wrote it, they picked that tune and put the words to it. And
I can see your average fighting man getting along very well with that kind of stuff.
Yes, Prior to those lyrics being written, what was generally hummed in the ranks behind it or muted was a titty falura, titty fillet, a titty falura, titty fillet. That, and then the lyrics came along, and then they spread like wildfire, and they were endemic across England. Now, as to, Pakka said this last week, a bit embarrassing that an Ulster man would recognise a song that's very closely associated with an English king, or an Ulster man would. But what you have to realise is, he was also the King of Ireland.
Yeah, well, what it is we haven't been taught our history properly.
Right. Whereas I grew up with songs like the one I'm about to play. Whenever I get past these adverts. I'm not sure exactly how good the video is, this one. Yeah, no, it's just a fucking plain Ulster flag. But we'll add this on. Yep. I sort of grew up listening to songs that are sort of this or like this. Share screen. King Billy's on the Wall. Which is basically about our murals and stuff. Yeah.
On the gable wall. There's a famous painting now that everybody knows. It stands upon a gable wall over Sandy Road, in memory of King William and brotherhood is joined. They fought for our deliverance at the Battle of the Boyne. King Billy's on the wall, King Billy's on the wall. He stands so high, shines so bright, he lights up the falls. There's millions come to see him, they stand and gaze in awe. They remember 1690, King Billy's on the wall. Well, there are slogans painted in red, white, and blue. They tell the Pope where he can go and what he can do. There's one to Jared Rice, well, that's a different class. Go stick below our armor road and stick it up your ass. King Billy's on the wall, King Billy's on the wall. He stands so high, shines so bright, he lights up the falls. There's millions come to see him, they stand and gaze in awe. They remember 1690, King Billy's on the wall. Well, the next time you're in Ulster, won't you come and have a look? Stand beside that mural and have your photo too. Then put it on your mantelpiece or hang it in your hall, so that all the world can see King Billy's on the wall. King Billy's on the wall, King Billy's on the wall. He stands so high, he shines so bright, he lights up the falls. There's millions come to see him, they stand and gaze in awe. They remember 1690, King Billy's on the wall. King Billy's on the wall, King Billy's on the wall. He stands so high, he shines so bright, he lights up the falls. There's millions come to see him, they stand and gaze in awe. They remember 1690, King Billy's on the wall. Billy's on the wall. King Billy's on the wall. He stands so high, shines so bright, he lights up the falls. There's millions come to see him, they stand and gaze in awe. They remember 1619, King Billy's on the wall.
There you go. There's a wee tune, and we can't actually do that without actually doing this. Here we go. There's the mural that's
We can't see it.
oh yeah, it would help if you actually added to the stage, wouldn't it?
There we go. Oh yeah, there he is.
Yep, there he is. Which fucking yep.
Whose house is that?
Well, the interesting thing is
Are you about to tell me that the mural is on your side? That
Oh,
house belongs to someone on their side.
no,
Oh,
the people. The interesting thing is none of these murals happen without the express consent of the person that lives in the house.
oh well, okay then. That's all good.
Yeah. So generally, what happens is they go to this area had been muraled before, and it was being updated, and the actual whole community had a photos on what was going to go on the wall, because and that's what the community picked with. But the people that lived in the house, and any time that there's a mural going up, the people that live in the house are asked, "We're wanting to put a mural here. Are you happy enough with that?" And they go, "What are you putting up?" And depending on what is proposed, those people might say, "I'm okay with having a mural, but I don't want that one." And they say,
Really?
"Okay, we'll put," and then they'll figure out what works for the house owner and the person. Or the person might say, "Actually, do you know what? There's been a mural on this wall for 20 years. I'm fucked off with people coming taking photographs. If it is being, please, could you just fucking put it back to white for me, please? And put a mural somewhere else and give us a wee break for a while." And the people in the street might even say that, in which case they'll go fine, and they will come and put it back to white.
So it's all absolutely by consent.
Yeah, you couldn't do these murals without the consent of the people, because some of the stuff that's going on the walls, there's a lot of paramilitary murals, and a lot of people might say, "Actually, do you know what? I don't want that on my house."
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. Yeah, because depending on the mural, it might attract the attention that someone might decide to break your windows because of what's painted on the side of your house.
Well, interestingly, there's very few cases where the windows get. Robin, what about you? Welcome aboard. Thanks for coming along. There's very few cases where windows get broke on a house that's muraled. Generally, if they do damage it at all, it'll be with paint bombs. That's
just at the mural, yeah.
Yeah, they only affect the mural. They don't go, and because everybody knows that the person that lives in that house did not decide to come out and paint that themselves. So there is that end of it.
Right.
What I will say is the memorial of the two lads that were murdered on the Newton Ards Road during a riot in the 1970s has been attacked with paint twice in the last 2 weeks. And then there is a Republican mural memorial to somebody in the Short Strand directly facing that, and it got repainted, and the flags are currently in clear place and probably going to be used for lighting the bonfire next year.
Right.
they haven't got the memorial. Yep, I'm fear mural consent. The flags in the memorial on our side, they haven't been touched. Although I think one of them had to get replaced for paint damage. But that's a ongoing thing. Also, in the Fountain Estate in Londonderry, there are a lot of attacks with fireworks and paint into that little estate. Used to be 20,000 Protestants lived in that part of Londonderry. There's now 350. Because there was a ethnic cleansing about 1960. But there is mural wars, although it depends on that one on Sandy Row would be quite hard to get at. You've got to go quite far into Sandy Row before you can actually get to it. It tends to be things that are close to the edges of areas that get the damage, because you can
get all that. I was just asking as to whether or not, inquiring as to whether or not, depending if you bought an end of terrace somewhere, what was on the outside of the end wall that was anything to do with you.
Yeah,
it's all done by consent, so fine.
No, they're
just interested.
Everybody's quite aware that the murals go where the murals go, and the people will either consent to it or not.
Yeah. I expect by now there's quite a bit of like, well, don't buy that fucking house then.
Yeah,
don't live there. Like, you're going to get one, you know.
Well, the other thing is, if you go and you're wanting the bag able an end terrace, and there's already a mural on, you're stuck with that.
Well, yeah. Does it then come down to the seller might ask you? Is that, you know, when you get in?
Yeah,
that ain't moving.
Yeah, you're stuck with it, but then it's been an informed choice.
Yeah. You buy a house next to a pub, you expect to stay awake till 1 o'clock on a Saturday morning, on a Sunday morning.
Yeah, you know, it's don't anyone say I will say genocide. And I will say that I mentioned in Chris's chat earlier on that Sinn Féin are pushing for a border poll, and if that border between Northern Ireland and Ireland comes down, you will see a heavily resisted genocide. But you might also
you won't sit there. Well, it won't be a genocide because that won't happen. You'll just resist.
Oh, the other thing is there's a very open question about how many people are moving to England in that case.
Right. Well, I'm fine with that because we could do with your know-how.
Yeah. Oh, it is our express opinion that the only way Ulster can fall is by a weak English government.
Yeah.
And if our border comes down, we're going to England to fix that.
That's a wonderful image.
Yeah. Oh, there's a song. There's a UVF song. We're coming down the road, and one of the verses is, how far have we gone now, and how far left to go? And those we once thought were our friends stand beside the foe. So heed my words and hear you well. The price is high that you must pay, for we are on our way. And if our border falls due to a weak English government, we're coming for the leftists in England that made it happen because they're responsible. And you will see a change very fucking quickly, because we'll come over and we'll take over housing estates and make them like our housing estates. And we'll use them I'm
not arguing with any of that. That all sounds fine to me.
Oh, and the other interesting thing is that little parade by the Psalm Society, there's a really weird mix of bands there, because you've got 19 bands from Scotland, England, and Northern Ireland. And about half of them are connected to the Ulster Volunteer Force, and the other half are connected to the Ulster Defence Association. And generally speaking, those two paramilitary bands don't go to the one parade. Because while they both have the same aims, they are different. And generally speaking, whenever you have a band parade here, you have bands from one bunch or the other, with the exception of obviously the really big things like the 12th of July and Derry Day, where they're really big things and everybody's there. But something like this, a Psalm Society parade, would normally be either one or the other, and probably UVF. It would almost make you think that two people out of each of those bands are going to end up in the same room somewhere in London having a discussion. You know, if you were to read the tea leaves. I will also say that there's a band from Liverpool, and also I think it's a band. There's at least one band from Liverpool who regularly have members that has got a really strong connection with a band from Northern Ireland, slightly outside Belfast, that regularly send members over to walk with them in 36 Ulster band parades. And they strangely had a couple of people over the same weekend that the last big rat went down, and also had people over the weekend that it went down in Ballymena.
Well, that's interesting.
Yes. It's, you know, they just happened to be there for a parade that happened like a day before or a day after those rats. Yeah.
A fun-packed weekend then?
Think of it more like a training course.
I didn't want to be that obvious.
Yeah. Well, it's...
No, seriously, just to lay out there, yes. Look, if Northern Ireland falls, a fucking shame. But seriously, this side of the Irish Sea, we could really do with your help in organising and knowing how to do stuff and knowing what to do, because we ain't practiced for 300 years.
Yeah,
you know.
I'll tell you more off camera. I'll tell you more off camera. But there are. Yeah, there is a bunch of organized people in England.
Good.
Very small, but also very organized. And I would say Toffee City will be the last English city to fall.
Well, yeah, because that's where you're all landing.
No, that's already fucking a segregated city, mate. It already has loyalist estates.
Okay.
There's parts of Liverpool that if you were to walk about, you wouldn't be able to tell if you were in Liverpool or Belfast.
I've never been to Liverpool.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't.
You never invited me. Which we'll get.
Yeah, you wouldn't see it from the city centre. You have to go into the housing estates. And I know that because I've got mates that used to go to parades in Liverpool. And the other thing is, like, they stayed in the pub over there. Anybody really wants to figure out which one it is probably could. But they stayed in the pub, and there was a chip shop 300 yards down the road, and they were told, you do not go to that chip shop in your band uniform. You change out of it before you go down there, because the estate down there is all Irish nationalists. So Liverpool's already divided like that. Yeah, I think Devon and Cornwall probably do have a good shout as well. But as I say, I talk about what I know. The other thing I will say is I hope the hell there's a lot of fucking organisation going on in England that I know absolutely fuck all about and should know fuck all about. Unfortunately, I don't think that there is, but I do hope that that's happening.
Well, I think what I do think is we will find out.
Yeah.
At this
Lads,
rate, we're going to find out. So,
lads, at the very least, have a few sponsored walks to find out what it takes to move a bunch of people from one place to another and how long it takes them to walk there. What you need to do whenever you land there about feeding them, about watering them, and all of that stuff. Like, we're pretty well versed in that here because it's what we do with our parades. You know, we know that a bunch of people will walk at fucking 3 mile an hour, 4 mile an hour, whatever it is, what you need to have in place for to feed them and house them if necessary, because we're constantly practicing that. Yeah, it's very easy to replicate that without drawing attention to yourselves. And the other thing I would say is you probably want to do that without making it political. Because if you go, we want to go from point A to point B to prove a point and fly flags and whatnot, you're going to catch a lot of problems. But if you want to push a hospital bed a distance to raise money for the local hospital, that's not going to be the same problem. But you will have the same, you will get the same thing from it. You know, it's not one of the things that you just do need to learn from us is to actually think a bit less obvious. Is where I see sort of part of the issues that you need to address.
yeah.
And to be you're exactly true in what you said. You just haven't practiced this for 300 years. But you still have a blueprint.
Yes.
We can lend it.
Well, we used to have the best trained army in the world for the very same fucking reason.
Yeah, exactly.
We should also, therefore, be able to have the best trained militia for the very same reason.
Like, the English militia was formed in 1795. And it's still in existence today. The problem is 90% of your people don't know that it exists and can't recognize it. You know, that's part of your problem.
Yeah.
A lot of this all stems back to the 1830s, where there was huge societal changes. Anything that was patriotic had the patriotic stripped out of it. And the cultural meaning stripped out of it. And you were left with celebrations that are very secular. And that too is part of the problem. And putting that back may be difficult, but it's not impossible. And I'll reiterate what I said in on Dangerfield stream. Morris dancing. Why the fuck is not all interested in Morris dancing? Because it's basically stick fighting the music.
Because it's not cool. It was bred out of us when we were young. It isn't cool.
Uh-huh.
And over a generation or three,
Yeah,
It leaves you.
yeah, it does. Oh fuck, I'm gonna find this quick. Facebook. Whenever Chris was talking about what kids do and whatnot, it sort of reminded me of this and the difference between. Oh fuck, Bolly, stand up. No, this is the one I want, and I want to go to my profile.
Ether Relevant says that the folkies are lefties. Well, this is the problem. We let them take it.
Do the folkies look lefties where I come from?
No.
Right. Okay. Here we go. Whenever Chris was saying about the kids not being able to go out and play and whatnot, this is something you'll see in unionist areas. Is that sound off? That sounds on. This is something you'll see in unionist areas quite a lot. Looking colored party with no flags.
Now, be honest, everybody, right?
Yeah, that gets you up.
If there were some people down your street that had just moved in from not round here, that would annoy the fucking shit out of them, wouldn't it?
Exactly. That's why we let them do it.
Everybody else down the street just went, yeah, that's all right.
Yep, exactly. Whenever I was a kid, I swear to fuck, they were going to the local supermarket and getting cardboard boxes, and then putting tape over the top of them and a bit of string to create the drum. And the people behind were whistling. These kids now have fucking side drums, bass drums, and flutes. And it's not unusual to see, like 2 days ago, I was driving home and there was a kid walked out of the street with a flute, and about 5 yards behind him was somebody with a drum, and then there was another kid with the cymbals, and they're beating shit out of it going up the street. And it's just normal.
Yeah.
And kids have to learn somewhere.
Yeah, well, them lot were clearly learning.
Yeah. Actually, a better example, I'll show you one of. I'll show you a clip of something else. Get you away. YouTube. CAMBLACOLFEAL. Feel BELF. It's not coming up for some reason. We'll have this here. Center effect, share screen.
At Campbell College, we talk about inspiring.
No, sorry, wrong video. I thought it was all something. something else, but that's a actually advertisement for the school. 1 second. CAMBLACO college band. Here we go. This is a school in Belfast. Now, granted, it's a very fucking good school. Like to get into this school, you're having to do really, really well on your 11 plus, because we still have an 11 plus here. We still have a education based transfer, but this is a normal school that normal kids can go to. Yep, that's up there. Now, they've went with bagpipes because they're a more posh school, but this is happening across our schools. Boys model. Band. Presenter and fake. Share screen. Share screen. Share screen. Now, this is a school from a very working class area of Belfast. This is actually the Commonwealth Day at Belfast City Hall, and where we had people from all over the Commonwealth come and do a bit of music, arts, culture, whatever. And we sent in the boys model school band, and this is what they look like. Actually quite proud about what our people are doing, because we are making our music acceptable and putting the infusion back into the youth and taking it away from it being a very sectarian element and making it accessible to everybody. You know, and you talk about Morris dancing not being cool. I reckon if your school was involved in this and going to play at Belfast City Hall, going to play at which would be the equivalent to any city hall in any of your cities, or like City Hall in London, doing Mummers Play or Morris dancing or whatever, I think that could become cool. No?
Yeah. I don't think it's not cool now.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. The local Morris dancers where I live had blacked up faces with the poaching connection.
Yep.
Which is what that
Anglo boys model are playing flutes and Campbell College are playing pipes. That's the difference between a working class area school and a expensive school. The expensive school, the parents went, well, we don't really want their kids in a flute band, but we're quite happy to have them in a pipe band with Ulster Scots connections. Yep. I would like to see more mummers. Sorry, Pack, I cut you off there.
just saying that like they have blacked out faces because of the poacher connection. I find that like if you actually look into the history of it, it's quite interesting.
Oh, I'm 100% sure it is.
But I was brought up to believe. Look at them silly old dancing with a balloon.
Yes, I totally get that. Now, interestingly, we keep getting told that the Orange Order and the marching bands and all of that are dinosaurs and knuckle draggers and it's not cool and all of that. We have all those attacks as well. And to be fair, it's worked with a large chunk of the population. And the other thing that they do is they cause division and problems and arguments anywhere that the cultural events go, and then they blame it on the cultural event and not the people that have travelled at quite a distance just to be pissed off at it. The same as all those complaints about the blackface with the march dancers. That's totally fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
You
don't have the monopoly on a black face, and at the very least, take off that blonde wig while you're trying to make your argument, you silly fucker.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous, and but the problem is none of their complaints are actually real. They're just picking anything that they can find to have a complaint. And whenever you've got rid of that complaint, they'll just invent another one. And that's why they can all turn on a sixpence and go from gay marriage being bad to gay marriage being the best thing in the world all at the same time, like that, because Barack Obama said so. They don't believe anything that they claim. Well, Anglo, I will also say that in 637, I believe, could be wrong on that, could be out by a fucking year or whatever, but I think it was 637 AD. The first United British Army took the field in Moira in what is now Northern Ireland, where a bunch of Ulad, which are Ulster Scots, Cornithii, which are Ulster Scots, Scoti, which are the Scottish people, Picts, which are Scottish, Britons, which were Welshmen, and Saxons took the field against the Celts in a 50,000 aside battle. So we've got each other.
Dust up by the sounds of it.
What?
It's had quite the dust up by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it was a week-long battle, and there's no clear winner. But whenever they were doing the railway line through Moira and making a cutting, they found a humongous amount of bones from the dead from that battle. So we've all had each other's back at some stage, mate. But yeah, I really appreciate what you're saying. Thank you.
Well, maybe that's a video in itself then.
Yeah.
I mean, if the battle took a week, you can probably get an hour or two out of it.
doing the research for that would take about a fucking year, mate. I know a little bit that scratches the surface of it. I would not be competent to try to go in depth and I'm
not forcing you.
Yeah, there's other easier things that I want to tackle first.
William Marsh, how are you getting on?
Yeah. I actually think tonight went well.
Yeah.
Because I think we got across the information.
I understand the song now. I didn't when we started. And I listened to it a couple of times.
That's a good step forward. The one thing I'm going to say before the end, I'll get this up. Well, oh, sorry. I thought on the March videos was live at the minute, but they're not. It's a recording from earlier on. I was thinking it would have been weird for them to be live at the minute. It would have meant that something not good was happening. Because they generally cover parades, and the parade should be well and truly over by now. Unless we're in a different country, which has happened. Yeah. This is the other place that I think people from our perspective might have run into Lillibullero would have been with this video. Which is Amelia sings Lillibullero. Now, I will play it. I'm going to point out a couple of problems, but whenever you go into the description, written in the late 1680s, Lillibullero became one of the most influential political songs of its time, spreading rapidly during the Glorious Revolution as a satirical attack on King James II and his supporters. And then we have this much about Amelia. I really do not think the people need to learn about Amelia, but I do think people who come to this song need some sort of a fucking description about what it is.
I think Amelia let herself down a bit there.
Yeah. Well, that's only half. Because I'll play this now and I will point out some issues with it. Not least being her version has an intro before it starts and is 3 minutes long. The song on its own is 3 minutes 42. So you can tell right away that the song is incomplete. But if this be the thing that starts people to question and learn something, well be it. But I hope they do more research than is provided in this.
In the 80s, Lillibullero rose as a biting political satire, mocking power, spreading fast, and echoing through the Glorious Revolution.
At least it's face.
Oh, brother Teague, just hear the decree. Lillibullero, bullanala, that we shall have a new deputy. Lillibullero, bullanala, lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala, lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Oh, by my soul, it is a Talbot, Lillibullero, bullanala, and he will cut all the English throat. Lillibullero, bullanala, lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala, lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Though by my soul it is the same, Lillibullero, bullanala, he is a papist and that's no shame. Lillibullero, bullanala, lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala, lero, lero, Lillibullero, Lillibullero, bullanala. Now England's God be praised on high. Lillibullero, bullinala. For James and all his friends must fly. Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, lillibullero, lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, lillibullero, lillibullero, bullinala. There was an old prophecy found in a bog. Lillibullero, bullinala. Ireland shall be ruled by an ass and a dog. Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, lillibullero, lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, lillibullero, lillibullero, bullinala. And now this prophecy has come to pass. Lillibullero, bullinala. For Talbot's the dog and Tyrconnell's the ass. Lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, lillibullero, lillibullero, bullinala. Lero, lero, lillibullero, lillibullero, bullinala.
Let's hear it for King James, lads.
Out of curiosity, what did you notice missing?
I don't know. I'm too
Right.
strung up on the Lillibullero bit. That's going to be in my head for at least a month.
Yeah, all right, okay. So they have removed the mention of France. They have removed the mention of the Pope. They have removed
yeah.
the mention of Magna Carta,
Yes.
and that's connection. And they have said that Ireland would be ruled by an ass and a dog, not the land, because the land includes England. It's almost like someone wanted to remove culpability from the Catholic Church. Whoever rearranged those lyrics wanted that taken out.
Amelia is not to be trusted, people.
Well, see, Amelia is whatever someone decides to make her say.
Yeah.
And that is a really bastardized version of that song. And I find it strange that that came out at a time when there's more interest in looking into English history, and used a source that people have now came to trust because she's the good one, she's on our side. And to be very clear, I do not blame Amelia on any of this, because Amelia is not an actual person. This is what happens when you trust your history to artificial intelligence, because somebody can use it with an agenda to bastardize the whole thing. Yep, it is sneaky fuckery. And I will also be very clear. I caught all of that in the first. I caught all of that in my first listen through, when I wasn't as familiar with the song, because, like with all songs like this, I've clocked certain things, and I'm looking out for them. And once the first one doesn't fall in the path, and know where it should be going, but the vast majority of people, through no fault of their own, and none of this is anybody's, and the fact that England is where it is nobody's fault that's alive today. You need to go back to at least the 1830s for the path that you have went on with your understanding of your history. And the one thing that I think these fuckers have missed is that they left a carbon copy in Ulster, never thinking that we would actually go, here, do you want to have a look at this? Here, look what we've got for you. And the reason why a lot of English people say they don't understand Ireland, they don't understand any history of that, is because they've been told that Irish history and English history is totally separated, nothing to do with each other. Whereas the fact of the matter is, understanding Irish history is impossible without understanding English history. And understanding English history is impossible without understanding Irish history and how it meshes together. Because we've been part of each other since 7,000 fucking years before Christ.
It would be a bit like ignoring Scotland or France or whatever.
Yes, Look,
no, it's nothing to do with England.
Yep. The Scots arrived in Ulster 7,000 years before Christ and became the Ulster Scots. And in the meantime, we have traded with each other. And see all those stone circles that you see right across the United Kingdom? There's a reason why they all look similar. There's a reason why the passage tombs all look similar, because we're basically the same fucking people. And the powers that be seem to have forgot that, and they've put too much faith, I believe, in their divide and conquer, because this is coming back together. And the more people look into it, and the more they understand, that the union's the way to go. Which is also why the push for Scottish independence and Welsh independence is being pushed so hard at the minute. Yep. Oh, fuck. What's really strange is that Gaelic's only spoken in certain places, Welsh is only spoken in certain places, Irish is only spoken in certain places, and whenever they actually try to fucking converse in that, the Irish Parliament speaks in English. The people who are pushing for the Irish language do their business in English. And in fact, about 3 weeks ago, somebody in the Irish Parliament was taking the vote on an amendment that Sinn Féin had brought to a bill that was going through, and they asked the question in Irish whether Sinn Féin agreed or disagreed. And this is on a proposal they had put forward. And because they had said it in Irish, Sinn Féin didn't know what the fuck they said and voted no on their own proposal. And then about a week later in the
somebody's going to write a song about that.
Yep. And then about a week later in the European Parliament, an Irish person was talking, and they said they began their spiel by saying, "I would have liked to have said this in my native tongue, but unfortunately we can't," and started to talk in English. And the people in the European Union interrupted and says, no, this is fine. Go ahead in Irish. We can translate. And the Sinn Féin people said, well, I haven't really prepared for it, so we'll go ahead in English.
Yeah, no, actually, we can't.
Yeah, no.
We actually can't.
Yeah, the European Union could. Yeah. Sinn Féin couldn't. You know, this whole thing with pushing the language, it's fucking farcical. But there you go. And I think the fitting outro for tonight, Sinn Féin, Brit South Africans in, that's exactly it. I think the fitting outro for tonight will actually be Raise the Colours. But before we get that, Mr. Pakka, is there anything that we need to talk about before that?
No, I'm all good. Thank you for the education.
Oh, thank you so much for coming along, because it does make it a lot easier to have this in a conversation.
No, I can sing along with that song now and actually know what I'm on about.
Yeah, it's class. there are other versions that are more fife and drum than the one that I used with the guitar, but that was very good for the lyrics, if you know what I mean. Because
hang on, Brad James says we should keep writing Lillibullero in the comments over on Dave's on Monday, unless he's lurking, and then that'll spoil it. Are you here, Dave? If he's already
sign me up.
Good.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I'll see you Monday, Brad.
Yep. Thanks, Anglo. Right. So at this, we're going to have a double intro. Pride on. we've also got a new word. There you go. Now you understand the song. I'm going to play Raise the Colors, and then I will do my own intro that was very kindly written for me by Rich. So here we go. This is the English Raise the Colors. Found that. And then obviously, as usual, I will put your comments all up on the screen. Who are ye in rags and rotten shoes, all dirty and bearded, blocking up the way?
We are English. We come from the edge of Europe,
beyond which lies only water, ice and death. This is the place we made our home.
Raised our cattle, planted the crops, evoked their gods from circles formed of stone, so those gods could witness us atone.
When Roman forces did invade, we fought as lions, refused to yield, and those we left out in the field, of the English, they were the seed.
Who adversity did propagate, an indomitable people who we would fight, toil and mock in equal measure, and find humour in our adversity, because that is our way. The battle-weary tribes besieged by Vikings, banded as brothers with Angles, Jutes and Saxons, took some years of consideration to produce our culture of toleration. The creation of the English nation at Stamford Bridge we won the day, but William was quickly on his way.
1066, the commutation brought the cursed Norman invasion. A ruling class they would impose until calls for Magna Carta arose. And to all the kings the message was sent: you only rule us by consent.
So what of the English, I hear you ask? You know us as the working class, the ones whose toil, blood and sweat brought you the greatest empire yet. So you should learn at your mother's knee of revolutions that number 3.
That number 3. 1, 2, 3.
Agricultural, where mechanised planting and harvesting was married to selective breeding, we created a food surplus, the envy of the world. Industrial, where we conjured cities to house factories inhabited by a well-paid workforce to man the machines. This coupled to the ingenuity of English engineers who never found a problem without a solution. The third, the glorious one, that brought about civil and religious liberty, one rule for all, and the right...
Hold on, gonna pause it, something I never brought up. This bit here, where you see this man being carried to the shore. I've probably said it before, I'm going to do it now because it's very relevant. This is William III arriving in England to take control of the country when this song was being sung. Now, the reason why the people come out and take him off the boat is because he brought his boat to the shore and refused to leave and said, if you want me, come and carry me, because he did not want to invade the country. He wanted it proven that he was there, welcomed by the English people. And that's why you see this guy getting carried off, and then you'll see him getting on his white horse. So that's where that's very relevant to tonight's stream. The other thing I'm going to say is that in a parallel, whenever Al Mack and Sansom got the music for this, before we realized how large a fucking task it was, particularly whenever I just give Al Mac a big line of text and say, here, could you create some music for that? It was muted that we might put a bit of Lillibullero into this, which would have been sentiment, but then we realized exactly how hard this fucking project was to put together. And God bless Al Mac and Sansom Communion for coming up with the music for this thing. But it was not deemed as possible, and we moved on. But that's this Lillibullero. Have that in your head for him coming in, because that's the soundtrack to that. Sorry, I'm going to take us back a bit. I'll take it back to that.
Said Norman invasion, a ruling class they would impose until calls for Magna Carta arose. And to all the kings the message was sent, you only rule us by consent.
So what of the English, I hear you ask? You know us as the working class, the ones whose toil, blood and sweat brought you the greatest empire yet. So you should learn at your mother's knee of revolutions that number 3.
That number 3.
1, 2, 3. Agricultural, where mechanized planting and harvesting was married to selective breeding, we created a food surplus, the envy of the world. Industrial, where we conjured cities to house factories inhabited by a well-equipped workforce to man the machines. This coupled to the ingenuity of English engineers who never found a problem without a solution. The third, the glorious one, that brought about civil and religious liberty, one rule for all, and the radical notion that a man should profit from his labours. But we are not greedy. We exported our language, our law, our sense of fair play. In our safe shipping lanes trade flows through never-ending day.
And when Britannia ruled the waves,
we used our power to free all slaves. We managed the world and allowed all others to travel in the social order we created with humour in adversity, because that is our way. Achievements we have too many to list. From this small kingdom God has kissed, we travelled the world from the highest mountain to Arctic's Kabatic, tundra and back again. The traces of our canvas are in our railway lines that transport the world to work, our compassion in the water systems that hydrates foreign soil.
We left everywhere, better than we found it, because that is our way.
I could list another thing or two, like how we taught the world to queue, but I'll leave that for another occasion. It's time to have a celebration, admire the wonders of our creation. To our ancestors, homage we must pay for doing things the English way. For we are the English, and this is our day.
who are ye? In rags and rotten shoes, all dirty and bearded, blocking up the way.
We are the pilgrims, master. We shall go always that little bit further. It may be beyond that last blue mountain barred with snow, across that angry or glimmering sea. We are the English.
Every Englishman's house is his castle. So hoist your colours and ramparts for England Day. Then down after St George's Day. We are English, and we'll be patriotic in an organised way.
Normal intro coming right up. Video file. Fuck me. OUTRO. OUTRO. new outro. That's it. Open. Add that to stage.
Boots in the red dirt, name carved in a stone you can't move. 42 wears the north wind like a tattoo. Green field trapped in a gray sky, salt rain still stuck in his throat. Far from the line on the map, he carries that border like a coat. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless, words like broken glass in the heather. Tongue tastes blood and black tea. He writes the river that cut his town. He writes walls only he can see. Vision of Ulster's flicker over rusted wire and ruin. He plants a flag in this dead valley and calls it home by singing. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless when the dust says 42. Is it exile if the land moves with you? Is it freedom if the past still stares straight through? He laughs like a funeral, he prays like a fight, writes Ulster in the sand, lets the wind decide the right. At 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, spitting old ghosts into new dark songs. From the cold, wet edge of Northern Ireland to the dry heat where his shadow runs long. 42, Ulster's poet, patriot, every line is a vow he won't undo. Hear that low voice curse and bless when the dust says 42. 42. 42.
Okay, everyone. Pakka has been Pakka. I have been 42. You lot in the chat have as always been fucking amazing. Good night. God bless. I'm out of here. Goodbye.